Hello and welcome to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Oh, my voice nearly gave out then. That's not a good sign. Where today I'm going to be trying a puzzle by Sumanta Mukherjee, who goes under the pseudonym Anu sometimes. I've been doing Samanta's puzzles on the channel for years. This one's called Phantom Locker, and apparently the task is to crack open the Phantom Locker. I don't actually I don't actually see any locks or anything in the grid, but this puzzle is apparently quite unusual. Two of our testers looked at it. One of them said it's magnificent and got through it fine. The other one, who's a very good solver actually, couldn't do it. So I looked at it on Logic Masters Germany before I turned on the webcam. It's got 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so it's not supposed to be a brutal puzzle. But I do think that Sumanta is one of those one of those setters that seems to get attracted to the world of variant Sudoku, whose brain just works in a slightly different way, and he sees things, that are very, very clever. And so I've done a couple of his puzzles on the channel that have just blown my mind. So maybe this will be another one of those. I'll do the rules for you in a moment or two's time. Let's talk about what else I can tell you about today. I will mention that over on Patreon we have this competition running. It's called the Nurikabi Puzzle Pack, but it's a Sudoku hunt featuring 10 puzzles Sudokus themed around the Japanese logic problem Nurikabi by the constructor Blobz. The feedback's been tremendous, as you'd expect from a Blobz Sudoku hunt, and you can see that as of yesterday, nearly 900 people had solved the whole thing. Now I'm going to attempt to refresh the page now and see if I get a revised count. It might tell me I'm not attached to the internet because the internet's gone down here, and if that does persist, I've got real problems, because obviously I need to get this video up and live by 8:30 tonight UK time. But anyway, I did think it might have it has come back. It has come back. That's great. Look, another 100 people. That is fantastic. We're nearly at 1,000. Nearly 1,000 patrons have solved the whole thing. It is absolutely phenomenal. Well done to everybody who's managed to complete it all. If you're a patron and you haven't tried it, do have a go. You will get through it. You will. And if you do get stuck, be aware, over on the Discord server, there is a special channel accessible just for our patrons, and you'll find 1 or 2 hints and tips over there. I'll say no more about that. Anyway, what else can I tell you about? Let me think. I've got birthdays to do. Let me look at my list of birthdays. We'll start off over in Houston, Texas. Nancy, it's your birthday. Oh, and your birthday is a palindromic 66, and I think that that line in the puzzle is a palindrome. So yeah, very fitting, Nancy, to have your birthday today. How do I know it's your birthday? Well, your husband Stephen wrote to us and told us, and apparently the two of you watch most evenings, except at the beginnings of months when you both do battle with the monthly Patreon challenge. So you're probably already through it. You're probably in one of the nearly 1,000 people. Anyway, Nancy, many happy returns. I hope you have a great birthday today, with chocolate cake, of course. Next. Oh, this isn't a birthday. This is a get well soon. Nat, your good friend Aaron wrote to us and asked if I could say get well soon to you, which of course I can. I think he's still trying to convert you to Cracking the Cryptic, and thinks that a get well soon message may be the thing that does it. I hope that's right. Nat, I do hope you're feeling better. A slice of cake will always make you feel better. That would be my recommendation. Good medicine. Next, Diane. Oh, well, this is an incredible one. Diane, it's your birthday today. I know this because your husband Cameron wrote to us to say it was your birthday today, and I understand the two of you are expecting your first child today. I think first children can often be late, so I don't know how punctual Simon Rex is going to be. Is that your placeholder name, I'm told? Simon, well, Simon's a great name. There's nothing wrong with that. And Rex means king, doesn't it? So Simon King. I think that would be a perfectly acceptable name. Anyway, I hope everything goes swimmingly today. Cameron posed the question, is sharing a birthday like sharing a chocolate cake? Well, I don't know. I mean, actually sharing chocolate cakes is a nice thing to do, providing if you're the birthday boy or girl, you get the biggest slice. That's fine. Anyway, Diane, I hope you have a brilliant day today in every possible way. Many, many happy returns, and also happy birthday to Simon Rex if he does arrive. Next, James, down there in Australia. I know it's your birthday today because your children wrote to me. Kyra and Michael wrote and said you might appreciate the shout out. I think you are quite obsessed with Sudoku, aren't we all? And you actually do publish puzzles as well. So Fractal Jim is your pseudonym. So I don't know if anybody watching has done a Fractal Jim puzzle, either on the Discord server or on Logic Masters. But if you have, drop us a comment and tell James what you thought. And James, I hope you have a great birthday today with chocolate cake. And with all that said and done, let's have a look at the rules of Phantom Locker by Sumanta Mukherjee. The rules are as follows. We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits do not repeat on the marked cage. It's probably meant to be in the marked cage. Right, so there is a cage there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's an 8-cell cage, and those digits all have to be different from one another, is what that rule means. We aren't told what the cage sums to, unfortunately. Along the green lines, neighbouring digits differ by at least 5. So if this square is a 9, this square is a 1, 2, 3 or 4. It couldn't be 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 because those numbers would not be 5 different from 9. In the thermometer shapes, digits must strictly increase from the bulbs to the tip. So sometimes the way we write that rule is we say along thermometers, digits must increase from the bulb end. So let's look at this cell here. That cell, it could be a 1. Now this cell doesn't have to then be a 2. You can miss out digits along thermometers, so you could go something like that. That would be a totally legitimate way to fill the thermometer. Just make sure the digits keep increasing as you go up from the bulb. Just as mercury would rise as the temperature rises, so should our Sudoku digits rise along our Sudoku thermometers. I will just briefly mention the weather today. After being so delighted that I thought spring had sprung, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Magpie. That's a bad habit I've got, saying good morning and good afternoon to Mr. Magpies, but I do it, I'm afraid. 1 for sorry, 2 for joy, 3 for girl, 4 for boy. Don't know what we go after that. Anyway, sorry, I've got distracted again. I got distracted horribly yesterday. There's one more rule. The grey lines are palindromes, so it must be the grey lines that are not thermometers, I think. So that's a palindrome. Oh, there's another palindrome there. Right. So how does a palindrome work? Well, it works like the girl's name Hannah. Hannah. You can see that if we read it forwards, it still reads as Hannah. If we read it backwards, it reads as Hannah as well. So if this was 1, 2, 3, this would be 3, 2, 1. Ted Rogers' dusty bin. That's how it works. That's how palindromes work. Do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. I know exactly what Mark would do to start the puzzle. He would look at the longest thermo and he would pencil mark it to within an inch of its life. I will not do that. The reason I don't do it, just to explain. So what Mark would do, I'm sure he would do it. This is a length 5 thermometer. So if this was a 1, this is at least a 5. So he would literally write into this cell 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I just can't do it because I get overloaded with how much information there is then, or how many options there are. Maverick has just taken off. I'm about to get buzzed by a low-flying aeroplane. I hope Maverick has a cover on his cockpit today, or he's going to get very cold and wet. Yeah, so that's why I don't do that. Now, I was just trying to think, I mean, can I share any secrets Oh, okay. I've got one secret. Right, there are some secrets that I can share about the basic rule sets from this puzzle. So let me talk about those. We'll start off on thermometers. Now, thermometers, one thing to be aware of is that the digit 1 can only go in one position on any thermometer, and that's in the bulb. Because if you try and put a 1, say there, this digit has to be lower than 1, and there are no such Sudoku digits. Now, the corollary of that is the digit 9 can only go in the tip of a thermometer, because again, if this was a 9, this would be a 10 or higher, and that isn't a Sudoku number. So 1s and 9s are typically the most restricted digits on thermometers. The next thing I was going to mention was about German whispers. So we've got a sort of croquet hoop here. And, right, a couple of things to mention there. The first is, can you put 5 on a German whispers line? And the answer is, oh no, you cannot. And that's because the next digit is impossible. If this is 5, what are we going to put here? It's a digit that's at least 5 different from 5. And if we go up, we get to 10 or higher. If we go down, we get to 0 or lower. They are not Sudoku numbers. So 5 doesn't go on the line. Now, what that means is that every digit along a green line either has the property of being below 5 or above 5, because it can't be 5. But the weird thing is that they oscillate. So if whatever this digit is, I'll make it purple, which doesn't really define its highness or lowness. But let's say this was above 5. So it's a 6, 7, 8 or 9. Here's the question. Can that also be a 6, 7, 8 or 9? Well, clearly no, because even if these were as far apart as they could be, if they were from the digits 6, 7, 8 and 9, they would be 6 and 9. That's only 3 apart. It's not 5 apart. So you have to sort of oscillate. Oh, that's a much better way of doing it. So what we're going to find there is that those digits... So I sort of made a very pretty pattern on the background of green. So if purple is high, all of these purples will be from 6, 7, 8, 9. If purple is low, all of the purples will be from 1, 2, 3 and 4. And obviously the sort of indigos would be from 6, 7, 8 and 9 then. So one thing I'm seeing there, I'll just mention it, is that 5 in box 7 has to be in one of these 3 squares. Don't know what that means. I suppose, just another small point, there are 3 of each type of digit along the croquet hoop, aren't there, in box 7. So these cells are going to be one low digit, one digit lower than 5, and one digit higher than 5. And if you're saying, yes, Simon, but I don't know what that means, then I'm with you. I've got no idea what that means. So I'm going to go to my final secret about this puzzle. Oh, yeah. Okay, and that is that the middle rows exhibit a property called roping. And that is forced by this palindrome. So, what do I mean by roping? Well, this is a pattern that comes up quite a lot in variant Sudoku, especially with palindromes for the following reason. We know that those 3 digits are the same as those 3 digits, aren't they? Because these are the same, these are the same, and these are the same. So I'm just going to make those yellow for a moment. Now, what we now know is that by Sudoku, the yellow digits in box 4 have to be here, don't they? Now the weird thing about that is, let's consider these digits now. Make those orange. Where do the orange digits go in this box? And the answer is only there, because orange digits are not the same as yellow digits, so they can't go in the bottom part of box 6. They have to go here now, which means that these are orange digits. And now, whatever colour we make this, let's make this blue, maybe? Obviously, blue only has 3 cells that it can occupy in box 5, and only 3 cells that it can occupy in box 4. I don't like the orange. I think the orange is clashy there. Go with green instead. That's a bit less clashy. So, what does that mean? Yes, so sorry, what does the roping mean? Well, I mean, you can see that we get this sort of stripy effect. It sort of looks like some sort of very potent toothpaste going on in the middle rows. Golly gosh, there's hardly anything going on here, is there? 2 digits. 2, 3, that's at least a 4. Okay, 5. 5 in this box is... 5 can't go on the croquet hoop. We've talked about why that's the case. So 5 is either a yellow digit or a blue digit. And that is a bit interesting. Yeah, okay. So now, do you remember at the start we identified this cage as being an 8-cell cage? Now, because we can't repeat digits in the cage, these are 8 of the different Sudoku digits, but now we can see they don't include the digit 5. So the cells in this cage are the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, which has a very, very tight overlap with the digits you can put on Whispers lines. And how do I know that there's no 5 in here? Well, it's because, well, I've got a 5 in one of those squares, so that the 5 can't be in those 5 cells of this cage. And these 5 cells are green, which in box 4 go in those cells, which are not the digit 5. So that must be important. The fact that we know the exact composition of this cage must be important. Yeah, okay, so the green digits here, I'm thinking about where they go in column 3. I don't quite know, actually, do I? These green digits can't repeat in this cage, so the green digits are not in any of those 5 cells. Now the green digits don't include a 5, but this is a green digit, so 2 of these digits are green, and the other is a 5. And we know that, okay, we know that the 2 digits down here that are not 5 and are therefore green are a high digit and a low digit because of the sprinkling of purple and indigo on this line. So we know we've got 1 indigo to come in the box and 1 purple, and they are actually now green, is what we've just discovered. Now that would be very useful if we knew that that digit, oh, it would be huge, wouldn't it? It would be absolutely huge. Imagine this digit was low, because I know that there is definitely a low green digit, definitely, because the 2 digits down here that are not 5 are both green, and one of those is low by dint of whisperage. Now, if that low digit is here, what is it? It can't be 1, 2, or 3, because there need to be 3 lower digits lower than it on the thermo. That would have to be 4. And this would be 3, 2, 1. I think that's going to be correct, actually. Let me just think about that for a minute. Hang on. Oh, when I just did that in my head, it didn't work. And now I'm not so sure. 3, 2, 1 here. These 3, 2, 1 digits would not be green, because green is those 3 digits, and they're in the same cage as the 1, 2, 3. So this green stripe would be made up of a 4 here and then 2 digits that would be higher than 4. Actually, just because of Sudoku, in the sense that 1, 2, 3, and 4 would have gone from the cage. So these 2 digits would axiomatically be higher than 4, and neither could be 5. So there would be 2 digits from 6, 7, 8, 9 in these 3 squares, and one digit 4. Oh, I see. No, it's fine, isn't it? So you get a 4 down here. And this domino on the whisper would include 1 high and 1 low, and the only low digit would be a 4. So this is wrong. It's not wrong for the reasons I thought, but it is wrong. That's weird. Okay. Actually, hang on. Is that definitely true? I think it's true. Why did my brain go to the... Why did my brain think about this? Yeah, no, that's fair. That is fair. I definitely know that there is a low digit in green. But if that digit is on the thermometer, it has to be here. Because it can't be there, because there aren't 4 lower digits than 4. 4, 3, 2, 1, blob. So either the low digit, which I know, and I know there's a low digit in green in box 7, either the low digit is exactly there, or it's here. And I now think it's here, which is going to be much less useful. But I don't think it's here, and let me explain why. If this is a low digit, it has to be 4. And then we'd be in this world. And I don't know how easy this is to see, but now this digit has to be a high digit, because it can't be 1, 2, or 3. So we know that the panoply of digits making up green are 4 and 2 high digits. But I know that here I must have a low digit on the whisper along with a high digit. So 4, as my only available low digit, would go in one of these 2 squares. Now, why do I think this is broken? Well, 4 has a weird property on a German whispers line. It only has one partner. And that's the digit 9. That's the only digit that's 5 different from 4 from a Sudoku. And why is this a problem? Well, what's going to happen is, let's say this was the 4. You're going to have to put 9 here and 9 here next to the 4. And you can't, because that's going to, by Sudoku, that is going to throw a 9 onto a thermo, not in the tip. And very much, it's going to be lower than a 4. So you can't do that. So this is not a 4. So what that means is, I don't know. Well, it means this is at least... Well, we know it's not a 5. There are no 5s in this cage, so it's at least a 6. So it's 6, 7, or 8. This is 7, 8, or 9. And this must be a low digit, because green must have a low digit to fit on the top of the croquet hoop. But okay, but that low digit is still not 4, is it? Because if that's 4, I've got to put 4 here, and I'm in exactly the same problem. I've got 9 at the top of the whisper. So this is 1, 2, or 3. This is weird. This is really strange. I still don't think I really understand it. So, right. Okay. So now, yeah, this digit is a high digit in green, isn't it? So green comprises 2 digits higher than 5 and 1 lower. So that digit must be from the high panoply, because we must put a low digit on here in green. But now, green in this column, where are the greens in this column? Well, 2 of them are down here. So, in fact, I'm just going to put them in like that. I mean, it's a terrible pencil mark. It's not even a pencil mark, but I'm just trying to remind myself there are 2 greens at the bottom of this column. And that, obviously this one could be one of the greens. But the point is that the low digit that's green in this box that is not on the Whisper is a 1, 2 or a 3. And that means that the low digits on the Whisper must include the 4, because there are 3 low digits in either one of these colours. Now, where is the 4 going in the... Remember what we've already just said, 4 is a difficult digit to put on a Whisper because it only has one partner, and 4 can't go in any of those squares for exactly that reason. If you put 4 here, you have to put 9 above it and below it, and that's the same for any of these 4 positions. So 4 is in the end of the Whisper, and it must be next to 9. So 9, oh no, 9 could be a green digit. I was going to say 9 isn't a green digit, but that's wrong, because that could be 9. Bobbins. Oh dear. Okay, so that didn't work. So 4 is either yellow or blue. And I don't know what to do now. That digit is at least 4. And I know that because if it was 3, the thermo would go 3, 2, 1. And that would mean this cell couldn't exist, but it's in the same cage, isn't it? So this is at least a 4. I mean, am I going to get into good living in terms of pencil marks? 4, 5, 6 or 7. Well, it's not 5, is it? Okay, I've got it down to a sensible proportion. It's not 5 because there's no 5 in this cage. So it's 4, 6 or 7. And I don't know what that means. Okay, so just thinking a bit more about these are different polarities. What I mean by that is that one of these is 9. So let's say 9 was in the indigo colour. This would then is in the other colour, so it's a low digit. Now it's actually not able to be 3 now. It can't be 4, the 4's down here, and it can't be 3 because 3 is nearly monogamous along a line, a German Whispers line. 3 has 2 possible partners, 8 and 9. Well, imagine this was 3, where would we put the 8 and the 9 on the croquet hoop? They'd go in these positions, wouldn't they? And that wouldn't be able to be a 9, but would have to be because there's a 4 in one of these. So the low digit here is 1 or 2. This is 1, 2 or 9. And, okay, and that's not, whatever this is not the green digit. So hang on, let me just give this, I'm just going to give this a label, A. So A is there, it's in one of those. A is in one of these. And I don't know, this is weird. This is a really weird puzzle. And I know that the low digit here is this digit, 1, 2 or 3. Oh, I see. Yes, okay. All right. It's not 3. This is so weird. It is exactly a Sumanta puzzle, this, because although I'm getting some deductions, I don't understand where they're coming from. Right. Why can't we put 3 into those squares? And it's similar to the point we were just talking about with, could I put 3 into one of these squares? Let's think about it. How would it work? Let's make this 3, just so that we can think about it. Now, 3, we said, it has to be next to 8 or 9. Well, below it, what would it be next to? It can't be next to 9. The 9's in this row, so it would have to be next to 8. Now we've got a problem, because this digit cannot be 8. Because if it's 8, where are we putting 8 in column 3? And the answer is far too low upper thermo. I mean, you can see, this can't be 8 because 9, 10, that's why we've only put 7 pencil marked into here. So this can't be 8. So we might say, well, it's got to be 9 then. Well, it can't be 9 because I've got this 9 pencil mark down here. That's exactly the same problem as if we'd had the 4 here. It's just slightly further away. It's like a first cousin once removed. It's still a problem. So actually, this digit is not 3. It's 1 or 2. Now, so it's 1 or 2. But okay. I am starting to understand this slowly, but it's really, it's brilliant actually. It's brilliant. Okay. Here is my next question. How could there be a 6 in one of those squares? And I think we're going to run into the same sort of problem. If you have... you cannot have a repeated digit here around any whispers thing. And the reason for that is that once you have a repeated digit in this little panoply of cells, that digit gets thrown onto the top of the thermo. But the problem with that is that when you throw it up onto the top of the thermo, it becomes not green by dint of this cage. And yet it must be green by dint of the roping in rows 4, 5, 6. So it gets paradoxed out. I hope that's clear. So what I'm saying is, if I put 6 here or here, I'm going to get double 1 around it, forcing a 1 up here. In fact, a 1 would have to go into the bulb. But 1 is green, so 1's down here in column 3. It can't also be up there. It just doesn't work. So I think there's a more generic point that I hadn't appreciated about how this works here. You just can't repeat digits. You can't have the same digit of any type in one of these squares and one of these squares. So I'm now going to claim that can't... no, that's not right, is it? I was about to say that can't be a 6, but that's not true, because that could be the 6. Oh, bobbins. Oh dear. All right, that didn't work. Sorry. I'm sorry. So what exactly am I meant to do then? I don't know. Okay, so hang on. The low digit that I've got here is a 1 or a 2. Hang on. Right. Oh, this is mighty odd. It's mighty odd, but I think it's right. I think it's an extension of the logic we've just done, but I'm going to extend it down slightly further down the croquet hoop. Right. There is a low digit A in one of these squares, which is a 1 or a 2. There is a low digit here, which is a 1 or a 2. Can they be the same digit? No. Because imagine there was a 1 here. Oh, in fact, they can't be the same digit by dint of polarity along the croquet hoop anyway. But imagine they could be. That still wouldn't work. If that's a 1 and that's a 1, throwing a 1 up here, that cannot be right, because 1 is a green digit, and therefore it appears in those cells in column 3. Now, I can apply that logic here and say, okay, well, it's impossible for those two cells to be the same. I know they can't be the same because of the polarity of the croquet hoop, but I can apply it equally well here. There is a low digit in one of those two cells. Could it be mirrored here? No, it can't be. Now, maybe I'm wrong then. Okay, no, I'm not wrong. I'm not. This is getting very complicated, but okay. So what I want to imagine is that there is a 1 here. Clearly this can't be a 1 now, so it would have to be a 2, wouldn't it? What's this digit? Well, it cannot be a 2. There's a 2 here. It cannot be a 1 for the reasons we've mentioned. 1 would be a green digit, should be in one of these squares, or should be in one of those squares, and can't be. So this digit would have to be, it can't be a 4, it would have to be a 3. And that works whatever we do. If we make this 2, this is 1, can this be 2? No, because it would put 2 up there and 2's in green down here by roping. So actually, there is a 3 in one of those squares, is what we're saying. And I don't know what that means. Okay, no, I do know what it means. I do know what it means. Well, one thing it means is that 3, as I've already said, can go next to 8 or 9 on a whisper. Well, we know there's a 9 here. Could there be a 9 there as well? No, because then there'll be a 9 on that thermo in a place where it can't go. So there is an 8 in one of these, and 8 is a green digit. So, okay, firstly, that's not 8. Oh, that doesn't... Okay, 8 is a green digit. So if... Right, so this digit is not 7 anymore, because either it's 8, because there is an 8 in green, or that's 8, in which case that's 9. So that is definitely not 7. Alright, so these digits are from 1, 2 and 8, which is sort of interesting. Yeah, so so these digits down here, which we know include 5, also include the digit 8 and a 1 or a 2, because we know that there are 2 green digits down here. And we now know that's the digit A, which is 1 or 2, and the digit 8 for certain. Okay. So how does that help us? Oh, I see. It's beautiful. Oh, Sumanta, it's beautiful. This is very clever stuff. Right. Now, 8 is not one of the low digits in this sprinkling here, is it? So the low digits, which are either these 3 or these 3, are 6, 7 and 9. And 6 has the same quality as 4. If we were to try and make this a 6, it would be surrounded up and below by 1. 6 can only be next to 1 on a whisper. So 6, which is definitely one of these cells, is not there. So this is a 4-6 pair. And if that's a 4-6 pair, this is a 1-9 pair. And this, by dint of Sudoku now, is a 3-7 pair. And we have finally, so this doesn't have 1 in it. This is 258. It's from the 258 modular set. All of these numbers have the same remainder of 2 when divided by 3. Right, so do we know what they are now? They are, yes, they are my green digits, which don't include a 1 anymore. So we can get rid of our pencil marks a little bit at least. So 2, 8, so this is a 2. That's my first digit in the puzzle, is it? And I presume somehow I know what this is. I just have to work out how to deduce it. I don't know the answer to that yet. But what's this doing then? Sorry, let me think about this, because this is big, isn't it? We've now at least done something sensible. Okay. I don't know if this is relevant, but I'll mention it because I've seen it. See this sort of person reclining in a comfortable looking chair here. The tip and the bulb of this thermo are not 1s and 9s. So that might be useful. I don't think it is very useful. Let me just think about this. 2, 3, but then this square couldn't be 4 or 6, could it? So that would be at least 5. And that would be 7 or 8. Why couldn't it be 6, Simon? A very good question. No, I don't actually think that. I say this, and it may be actually restricted, but I'm not sure it's very restricted. Actually, maybe the palindrome's better. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, well, the palindrome digits by Sudoku, so those two are the same and these two are the same. So those dominoes, if you like, end up down here, don't they? So these squares are from 2, 4, 5, 6, 8. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether that's something that it's worth pencil marking. Sorry. That can't be a 2. Right. I'm very pleased about this. Where is 3? Where's 3 in box 9? Now, I might be wrong about this, but let's go through it. I think this cell is at least a 3, because it can't be 1 by the 1-9 pair, and it can't be 2 by Sudoku. So it's at least 3. This square now is at least 5. This square here... Oh, okay, no, this is better. Actually, getting rid of 2 from here has really put more pressure on our reclining loafer here. Because that is it now at least 5. That's at least set. Hang on, does that have to be how it works then? No. No, because that could be 4, couldn't it? It could be 4. But whatever this is, 3 or 4, this is at least 5. I don't see how it can... If it's not 5, it would be 7, and that would make this 9, which is impossible. So I think this does go 5, 7, 8. I don't see another way of doing it. So this isn't 8, and this isn't 5 by Sudoku. Okay, but coming back to my other question was going to be, where's 3 in this box? So 3 can't be here. 3 can't be on the palindrome because it would get reflected into a row with a 3 on it. So 3 is in the corner. That's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. So has that put more pressure on what this can be? Let's just do a quick recceing. We know it's a digit that's down here. So, well, it's not. No, actually, that's what I was about to say is wrong. So I'm not going to say it. We know it's even. I suppose that's true. It's got to be even, doesn't it? These are only even numbers now. 8 is not possible in any of those, so 8 is not possible in any of these. 2 is not possible in those. So 1 and 9 in this box are definitely up here. So 1 and 9 are definitely down here in row 9. 7 in this row is in one of 2 places. And this means... oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. No, I'm not sure. I mean, I can see those 3 cells are a little bit interesting in the sense that this whispers line is oscillating. So those 3 are the same polarity. They're either all above 5 or below 5. And whatever they are going to be... we would know the set of them. I mean, if they're high, they're 6, 7, 9. And if they're low, they're 1, 2, 4. And presumably somehow that means there is a 1 or a 9 in one of those squares. No, I don't think that's good. I don't know how to do that. All right, let's try something else. Let's try... well... that's interesting. 3 and 7. 3, 4, 5. That would be very restricted. Yeah, that doesn't feel like it can work. Oh no, maybe it can. No, maybe I... oh no, hang on. No, it can't. It definitely can't work. Oh, it's very simple. Ah, brilliant. Right. Very simple. Look at the croquet hoop. Now, there is the possibility that indigo is low. Now, if indigo is low, how would it work? This would be 1, 2... and these 2 squares here would be 8 and 9. Now I want to look at this box and think about whether it... in fact, let's put it in. 8, 9. Is that possible? And the answer is no. Because 8 and 9 couldn't go in these squares. 8 and 9 can't be so low on a 4-cell thermo because obviously this square is going to be much higher than 9. That's not going to work. So they're not there. They can't go there because this thermo is too long. So 8 and 9 would be combined to 1 cell in the top left-hand corner, and that's not going to work. There are no Schrodinger cells in this puzzle, so we can't do that. So in fact, what we've got to do is to say that purple is low. So 2, 1, 3, 4, 9, 6, 7, 8. Now, hopefully that's going to do something. I don't know what yet, but hopefully something. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. I don't know what that's doing. I'm sure it's doing something. He says, okay, 8 and 2. 2 and 8 are definitely in these squares, aren't they? That's definitely not 8. Is there some way that I know more than I think I do? I suppose, okay, that digit is 2, 6, 7 or 9 by the roping in the green. So there's only one way that this can be low, and that's if it's 2. And then this square would be 8, or it'd be 9, wouldn't it? 2, 9. Ah, that's it. Beautiful. Okay, so I could have got this a lot quicker. I wasn't looking at this point. But earlier on we looked at those 3 digits, and we noted that they were all either high or low. Now, let's think about the case where these are low digits. Now, because of the nature of green only has one green being these greens. Green only has one low digit, so this would have to be 2. But that means these squares are 1 and 4 in the column. And the problem with this is you can't put the 4 here. 4 is monogamous on the green line, so both of those would be 9. So this would be 4, and this would be 9. But this is 2, and this has to be high. And what high digit are we going to put in it? We can't put 6, because 6 and 2 are not far enough apart. They're only 4 apart. We can't put 8, we can't put 7, and we can't put 9, and there is no way of filling the line. So this square, whoopsie, this square is not a 2. This is a high digit, so these are 6, 7, 9. Which means that one's not 6, because 6 would go next to 1, and there'll be a double 1 here. One of these is a 1. Oh, bobbins. I was hoping we were going to at least... We know that digit... we know this is a 2-8 pair, because green has a 2 and an 8 in it. We still somehow don't know the nature of this one. One of these is a 1, so that's not a 1. Let's put the options in. These are 1, 2, and 3, aren't they? Neither can be 4, because that would break the world. And put double 9 into one of these, either there or there. So these are from 1, 2, and 3. That's definitely not 2. No, it can't be. That can't be 3. If that's 3, these squares have to be both selected from 8s and 9s. They'd both be 9, and that would break the world. So that's 1, and now the 6 must go here, because there must be a 6 in one of these, and 6 must go next to 1. So this becomes 7 and 9. This can't be 3 now, because 3 and 7 are only 4 apart. So that's 2, that's 2, that's 8. More digits going into the puzzle. Come on. Oh, no, don't. Okay, 6. 6 is my special digit. Right, so that's 6, and this is 8. So 2, 8, 6 is the nature of green after all this time. What a puzzle, eh? Now, 1 is now in blue. So 1 is in one of those squares, not that one. Yeah, no. No. No, sorry. Okay, that's not 9, because there's a 9 up here. 7 is in one of those squares by Sudoku. And no, come on, this must be resolved now. There's not enough things left to do. What on earth? So I suppose if that's 7 by the palindrome. That's 6 on a thermo. That's got to be a 4. Oh, that's going to do some things, isn't it? Right, that digit is 3 or 2. and it can't be 2, so that's 3, and this is 1 or 2, but it's not 2, 2's at the bottom. Right, so this thermo is resolved. That means this is not a 1, but 1 is in blue, so 1 goes there. Oh, wow. Hang on. That digit's now whopping. Because that digit is not, by Sudoku now, is not 1, 2, 3 or 4. So it's at least 5. It's 5 or 6, I think. So now I am... this has to be 8 and 9. Because if this is 5, this can't be 6 or 7. So this must be an 8, 9 ending to the thermo. And this digit is lower than 6 and is not 1, 3 or 4. So it is 2 or 5, I think. I bet you there's a way of resolving that. But anyway, can't we do more with this now? 1, 3 and 4. Yeah, because we know this cage contains every number apart from 5. So this is a 7, 9 pair. And so these digits are 3, 4, 5, are they? So that's a naked single, that's a 5. And this is a 3, 4, whoopsie, whoopsie. This is a 3, oh no, come on, bring the colour back. That's a 3, 4 pair. This is a 5 by Sudoku. That's massive. So that's 2, that's 6. And what do we get? We get 7 in the corner up here. But look, we get a 5 in yellow. Now, okay, 5, 5 in yellow, 5 in yellow, not here though, so not there, by palindrome logic. Probably do more, but I don't know quite how to do it. How should we do this then? 2 is in one of those squares. Oh, and I've made an error. That's impossible. Oh dear. What did I get wrong there? I don't know. That's perplexing. Because it felt very logical, didn't it? It felt I felt like I made a mistake here. Now, why did I feel I made a mistake here? 3, 4, 5. Making this a 5. We can see it's already broken. Oh, unless that can be a 7. Oh, I've missed pencil mark this. Okay, thank goodness. Let's go all the way back. I said that digit can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3 or 4, didn't I? I missed the possibility of it being a 7. I put 5 and 6 here. I don't know why I did that, but it was clearly wrong. It's 5, 6 or 7. This digit, this is still an 8, 9 pair at the top. This is still a 7, 9 pair. This is still a naked 5, so that isn't 5. This is still a 3, 4 pair. So most of it was correct. I just missed this pencil mark. And now, hopefully, we will not end up, well, we can't end up with a 7 here, or this is broken. In fact, why don't we put that in? 7 and 9. What do we need in this column? We need a 5. So that's a 5. And we need 2, 6, and 7 into these squares. So let's put that in. That's definitely not... Oh, I've just messed up my pencil marks again. 2, 6, and 7. And that's not a 7 in the top. So there is a 7 on here. And it must be in the higher position because it's always going to be higher than this digit. Alright, so maybe that's better. We can still do the same logic with 5. 5 has to be in one of these squares and one of these squares. We can... Okay, I don't know what else we can do, but probably other things. He says, desperately trying to work out where we're meant to look next. Where do you think? I don't know. What do we need in column 9? 1, 2, 4, 5. So that's naked, I think. That I might be wrong about that. 1, 2, 4, 5 feels right. That seems to have to be a naked single 4. So 4 is blue. So 3 is coming into yellow now. So let's see what that means. 3 is not that one. So 3 is there and 3 is here. Coming back here, what was it? 1, 2, 5. So this is 1 or 5. Oh, this is a naked single 5 now. It can't be 1 or 2. So that's 1. That's 2. So this is a 4, 6 pair on the palindrome. 1 has to be here. 9 has to be here. This could be massive, you know, because 5 is now placed on the longer palindrome. Now, can we do these 7s and 9s somehow? And what about, okay, 4, 6 here means 3 is at the end of this thermo. That places 3 in the middle box, which places 3 there on the palindrome. So what are these digits? Oh, 7 and 9. Oh, no. Oh, no, that doesn't work. Well, it works, but it doesn't resolve. 1, 4, 7, and 9 into these squares. 4, 6, 4, 6. That's not 2. So, oh, look at this digit. This is 5 or 8 by Sudoku, and it sees a 5. So that's 8, that's 5, that's 2, that's 8. Let's get rid of these squares. 1, 9, and 2, I think, is what we're left with. That's not 2. And these are 7 and 5, which again is resolved. So 5 is here, 7 is here. That's not 7. 5 can't go on the whispers line in this box. Oh, that digit can't be low, because if it was low it would have to be a 4 by Sudoku, and that would put a 9 here, which would clash. So that's high digit, which is 6 or 9, and this is a low digit, which is 1 or 4. Oh, it's not 4, it's 1. That doesn't resolve that one though. Okay, that gets me a 9. So that does 7. Look, 9. So 4, 1, 9 is what we've got. 1, 4, 9 or 9, 1, 4 in blue. This is a naked single. That's 4. That's 4 on the palindrome. That gets 4s and 6s done. 1, 9 here, and we must know these digits at the top. 5, 8. Yeah, we can do that. 8 here, 5 here. Yeah, I feel like we're there, aren't we? Hopefully. 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6 I can do. 6 and 2 I can do. So we had a bit of a ricket today, but not too bad. It was just a slight missed pencil mark. Hopefully you could be able to forgive me. Now, what's this? 6. Oh, 6 in this row goes here, so that's a 9. 9, 1, 1, 2. 2 at the top. 8, 3, 3, 4, 7, 7, 4. What a brilliant puzzle. That is quite a special puzzle, actually. It's taken me over an hour. I'm not sure. I'm not sure I agree with the rating. It's correct. Thank goodness for that. I don't know. This line was weird. This might be the most peculiar. It's so strange how this line works. Honestly, it's weird. It's weird the way it interacts with the roping and this cage. It's truly peculiar. The fact that you couldn't repeat digits in it. Maybe I'm just going mad and it's totally obvious, but it was not obvious to me at all that you couldn't have I could get you couldn't repeat 9. I mean, that's how I got into this, was thinking about that, because that would break the thermo. But it's the subtlety that you can't repeat anything, actually. Because repeating anything gives you this problem with where the greens were in this column. 2, 6 and 8 were the greens in the end, weren't they? So those were the greens in column 3. And the fact that you can't put them up there as well. It's just really weird and beautiful. But it's not geometry I've ever seen. And yet you sort of look at it and go, well, what's complicated about it? And yet it was. I think it was complicated. Anyway, let me know in the comments whether I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But Sumanta, I broke into your phantom locker in the end. And it was a very, very clever locking mechanism, let me tell you. As I say, let me know in the comments how you got on. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.